So we got a question from Nate, and Nate asks, can inhale and exhale strategies be unilateral or more pronounced on the left or the right? More specifically, in unilateral sport athletes such as baseball, softball, volleyball, hockey, etc. Nate, this is a really good question, but I would hesitate to call them unilateral athletes. Actually, what we're talking about is rotational athletes, and you are 100% correct that one, we need to be able to bias our inhalation, exhalation strategies to turn, but if we're biased towards inhalation and exhalation or using a compensatory breathing strategy, we can also create a limitation in our ability to turn. So let's take a closer look at that. So Nate, what I've done here is I've drawn the cross sections of two thoraxes. So we're cutting someone through the chest somewhere about this level, give or take a couple levels or two, but this will give us the right idea. And so what I have here, Nate, is I have somebody that is actually turning to the right, and I also have somebody that's turning to the left. And the only way that this is possible without creating some form of compensatory strategy that may increase load or tension like we don't want is actually to create a bias in the airflow. So let's go over how this happens. So if I draw a line through these, you can see that I've got these asymmetries through the thorax. But what they represent, Nate, is this is an expansion. Oh, my blue is not working very well. This is an expansion in this direction. This is an expansion in this direction, which means that I need a propulsive strategy in this left posterior aspect of this thorax so I can expand anteriorly on the left. And then I've got an opposing strategy on the other side that's going to allow me to turn. So the expansion on the left, expansion on the right is a right-hand turn. On the opposing turn, what I have is an expansion on the posterior left and expansion on the anterior right, and that's what allows me to turn. The exact same strategy, just so you understand, is actually occurring in the pelvis at the same time. So this is how I turn. Now let's consider a couple of problems here. Suppose that I have a bias where I have a propulsive strategy on this posterior left that I can't overcome. And so now I am kind of stuck in this right-hand turn, and this makes it very, very difficult for me to acquire this opposing strategy. So let's just say that you're a right-handed golfer, and you present with this compensatory strategy where you want to maintain this propulsive strategy in the posterior left. So now your backswing might look great, but your club head speed at impact and your ability to follow through are going to be significantly impacted because you can't overcome this strategy. To follow through on a right-handed golf swing, I need to be able to acquire this left-hand turn scenario where I get left posterior expansion and right anterior expansion. So again, this applies to any type of rotational athlete that you brought up. So Nate, what I want you to take away from this is that yes, you may actually have an athlete that presents with a limitation in unilateral exhalation or inhalation that may actually restrict their ability to turn. It's now your job to identify that restriction and then prescribe the appropriate exercise program to allow them to recapture the opposing strategy and restore their ability to turn in both directions. I posted a number of videos already up on the YouTube channel that may actually support your ability to make those decisions to help restore the turns to your athletes. But if you still have questions, please post them up on YouTube or on the Instagram.